Hi, it's Leo Scarborough here, the Buildsmith from Buildsmith Solutions. This is video number 11 of your interactive ebook, and this finally is the stage where you start to engage with a builder. By now, you've looked at your brief, you've understood health and safety, you've found a designer, you've checked your budget all the way through, you've seen other experts that you need, you've gone through planning permission, construction and building control drawings, you've understood the contract, you've understood the information you're going to provide to the contractor, and now finally, after all of that, you can start to talk to builders. Now, the reason we do it in this way is because the barrier to entry to being a builder is zero. I'm a chartered surveyor, I'm regulated by the RICS, and I have to put in documents every year to say that I'm still learning and I'm still a professional. The barrier to entry to being a builder is zero. So you don't get that level sometimes of competence or confidence that a builder absolutely knows now everything that you've gone through in order to get to this stage. A builder is the last 25% of any building project, which is why we've led you this way. Now, you've finally got to a stage where you are talking to the builder and you've got a really good quality, concise document. Now, the process to find a builder is almost identical to that of finding a designer. You will not believe the amount of problem projects I pick up where the client hasn't checked them out on Companies House, because builders can kind of reinvent themselves every 18 months if they want to. They might have a complete checkered history on Companies House. I've had one where a contractor's actually in liquidation and they're still doing a building project. You don't know if a contractor's insured. So this is the time now to use the same process that you did to find the architect and ask all the relevant questions. And I've outlined the questions here. Don't be afraid to ask lots of questions. Actually, take their references, understand what, where and how. What work they've done, go and see it. Ask these relevant questions. And it's exactly the same as a designer. Just because this builder's done a good job for your mate, things change, people change, cash flow changes. Clients change. What you don't know is how good that builder is. So what you need to do is, even if your mates use them, is undertake a good set of quality due diligence on them to make sure they can do what they say they can do and they've got evidence for it. And they're insured to do the works. This also allows you to say, this is the contract we're going to use. Are you happy to engage on that? This is the health and safety requirements I require from you. Are you okay with that? If they say no, they're the wrong contractor. Do not get caught out too late. So this is the time where you've looked and you've understood your number of contractors. Do not get lots of contractors to price it. Contractors have only got a couple of ways to price something via cost or cheaper, and that is the labour they're using and the discounts they get on materials. What I would say is, if you've put the tender documents together correctly, there should only be a 10% variation on cost when you kick out the other end, as long as you're using similar size contractors or similar size builders. So this process then leads you through how to tender and what questions to ask them and how to remind them to put a price in, and it gives you the chance to see how they interact. Do you like them? Like I've said before, construction projects are rubbish and they're really stressful. So what you need is a designer, structural engineers and a builder that you get on with and you know you can work with. But it's also going to engage with you on the right contract in the right manner in terms of health and safety. What you need them to do is price the document that you've put together, wall colours, doors, handles, the whole lot. Make sure it's accurate and spend the time interacting with them. Get them round to the site, and I've got a set of instructions here on how to prompt them to put the tender in at the right price. So after you've done all of that, hopefully, if you've done everything that I've said in this book, you should only have like a 10% variation. If you haven't, check through. One contractor might have priced for something, another contractor hasn't. It could be that they've allowed provisional sums. If you haven't got an electrical layout, which you should do really, one contractor might say £5,000 for electric and another one might say £10,000 for electric. What you need to do is even those sums up to understand who is giving you best value for money. Remember, the tender process is not about finding the cost. The tender process is about finding the right contractor. By the time you've got to this stage, you should already know the costs because you've checked it with your designer, you've checked it at planning, you've checked it at construction drawings. You shouldn't need to know what your budget is at the moment. You should be able to identify which contractor you're wanting to use. So then the ebook goes on to say, what if my price is too high or not what I expected? And there's some guidance around that. And if it's low or if it's high, there's a lot of instructions on how to kind of get your way out of it and who to ask these questions of. So quite a big video this and a lot to unpack. But the golden thing here is that this is the first time you're talking to a builder. You've got to give them the right level of information and they've got to engage on your terms. If they are not engaging on your terms, they are not the right builder, irrespective of what they think the cost might be. If you've got any questions at all, click the link below, go through to the webpage and see how you can interact with us and see how we can help you further. Many thanks.